Today on Down with Dedee, my mom will be having a conversation with Todd Wharton.
Todd, welcome to Down with Dedee, baby.
What's up, Dedee? How you doing?
When was the last time you did a podcast? They force you to listen to some awesome music before you start.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever does that, which is kind of weird. And it's always like they just get right into this boring stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I just look at them like, you guys ever been in an elevator and just want to get out? Well, that's where I am right now.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
you feel like you're in an elevator right now and you just want to get out?
No. I'm saying because people, that interviewed me before, it's just like they're like figuring stuff out while we're recording. Like, wait, where's my cat? Get out of here! Oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom. And it's all during the interview, and I'm like,
DJ, my producer, does that sound familiar? My first few ones were me going like this. So, okay, wow, what's going on over here? But that's why I always say my podcast is raw, it's real. We're just gonna have a conversation. I mean, like you said, sitting and just interviewing is a beautiful thing, and I know you do that really well. This is why I remembered you, and we continue. Well, Todd, you interviewed me back when? What was that? Like a couple of years ago?
It's about a year ago. No, maybe a year and a half ago. I think, was it during COVID or after COVID?
Oh, COVID would have been the first season I was stuck in Canada.
I think it was during COVID. It was season 2.
Oh,
yeah, it was been that long already. Wow.
Okay. I know, right? But what I loved about you is that when we, first of all, like Deborah Cobalt, she's another one where there's just sometimes some people interviewed me, we just clicked, and it was just so fun. And I just remember their energy. And I thought one day if I have my podcast, I'm going to have them back on because we need more of that. We need more of that. I don't know, that energy that I was talking about. So now listen, when I called you and said, dude, you want to be on my show? I'm allowing people to talk about social issue, which is actually funny. I guess this is a very social issue we just talked about, but one that was passionate to you that you'd like to just hone in on, and you brought up one that I thought was actually quite brilliant. And I don't think you're alone in your thoughts. What is it you want to talk about today?
Well, I believe you had 3 topics, and one of them you were telling me was addiction, right? And
addiction.
Yeah, when people think of addiction, they think of drug use and alcohol, but I think people forget one addiction that I think 90% of the world does, and I don't think they realize it. There's so many people on social media today that are addicted to being unsuccessful.
Yeah,
and
you said wow, explain that. I love that comment.
Yeah, and what I wanted to mean by that is social media has created a new beast where everybody has a voice. The problem is a lot of people aren't using their voice correctly. People are paying attention. They're creating so many bad posts, and a lot of the posts are based on haters and negative posts, and they're concentrating so much on not being successful by blaming other people, right, instead of taking all that time and making yourself better. And when people consistently complain, oh, this person here, this person there, listen, most people in the world don't have time to be hating on other people and posting stuff about other people. But the ones that do post are the ones that feel that their life is being brought down by other people. That's not how it works. Most success people, they don't have haters. They have people that are maybe jealous, but nobody really goes online and creates time to go after people. And if they do, what are their lives like, right? If they have that much time to do it. And I see so many people posting, oh, nobody's giving me a chance, oh, this, oh, that. And it's every single day, and it gets drowning. And I unfollow these people because it's like, well, what are you doing to make yourself better? I'm somebody, and I have to say this, I'm putting myself in there. I'm a talk show host, right? And there are 5 or 6.
Very good one, I might add.
Oh, thank you. And I'm so excited to be on your show as well, because your personality is off the chain. And I wanted to create, yeah, that's right. I wanted to create a space for myself. And I knew if I'm going to deal with the art and entertainment industry and the A-listers and the publicist A-listers and the managers, no is going to be a part of my conversation, right? Repertoire. It's not that they're hating on me or anything. I have to prove that I'm worth engaging with. I'm worth to have their clients on. I'm worth to bring into events. And I had to learn the industry. And those no's are kind of obstacles where Michael Jordan put it. Whenever you have an obstacle, find a way to leap over it, right? But you never see me posting negative stuff online, because what does that say about me? Like, you've gone through it, I've gone through it, Obama, Biden, we could put Trump in there, even though Trump caused his own stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people about to hate what I'm about to say, but it's true. We all cause our own negativity, but that's part of life, right? Whether it's politics or arts and entertainment or anything else, and negativity is part of life. You know, obstacles are a part of life. And the way to better yourself is to learn from it. But if you constantly complain about it online, people are going to look at your image as, this is what this person does. All they do is complain. So why do I want to work with them? And that's why a lot of people don't move further than where they are, because they're creating this image of, I'm a very negative person because I'm blaming everybody else for me not being successful. Now, successful doesn't just mean money. It just means, are you willing to go to the deep ends to live out your passion? And passion means 100% dedication, which is like a marriage. If you get married, you're dedicated to your wife or your husband. You're dedicated to your kids. You're giving your lifetime to them. That's what your passion should be. And if you concentrate more on negativity, where are you going in life?
I completely agree with you. And it does start with home base. But now let's back it up a teeny bit, because here's a conversation I'd love to have with you. Now, do you think that these people may have had this issue before the pandemic, and now it's just heightened because when we were all in lockdown, social media and finding each other through social media became the way to survive? And because of the pandemic, some survived and thought, and literally had rebirths and came out of it like swinging, going, well, I lost that job or this or that, and because of that, I was forced to go this way, and now the trajectory of my life is going this way, and I'm digging it. Had the pandemic not happened, I would not have found this new way. Others didn't fare as well, but I also wonder, because I'm wondering if that was already going on in those individuals, but they discovered and found each other in the pandemic. And now that we've moved past, we're out of the damn pandemic. And by the way, let me just remind you and everybody, including myself, going through a pandemic in your lifetime is not normal, okay? It is not, you're not supposed to do this. This whole generation, including you and me, will never know what it's like not to have gone through a fucking pandemic. It's not supposed to be that, but we did, and now we got through it. So I'm wondering if these people are relatively stuck, and they still find that, because people need people, okay? As much as we'd like to think that we don't, we do. So they're all in this negative headspace. They're absorbing and spewing negative energy, right? In this rabbit hole of negativity. They're finding others who are also stuck, right? And now they're all stuck in this spiral of negativity and woe is me, and oh my God, the world is shit. Okay. Hey, listen, I'm sitting here interviewing you. My show was fucking canceled yesterday. I'm not very happy. I wanted to call and cancel on your ass, but I didn't. I just threw my 59-year-old ass out of bed, threw my red lights on, had an issue with my computer. There's another excuse to say, fuck it, I'm calling and canceling. I was like, but see, I have that, I'm not going to give up personality, and I do try to share that with others. I'm wondering, when these people are stuck in that, what can one do to unstick them?
Yeah, that I'm sure there's a word out there with
I
them.
know it's pronounced. You tell it. I
These days, I think people got.
it was not an
Yeah.
But like, there's you and me and all these people who are really like on this positive wavelength. We're all about the solution. That's what this podcast is all about, I might add, right? Solution-based thing. I wonder if people like that would ever listen to a podcast like this, because we're really going to talk about solution. We're going to give off good energy. We're not judging. We're just we're stating, wow, there seems to be this negative wave that has its own energy going, and it's not a good energy, right?
No, not at all. And in order to survive the world, you have to be the lion like you have right behind you. You have to make yourself the king of the jungle. And that's a part of success.
I think, I don't know, I certainly don't have the answer for it, but I think like addiction, and I love that. It seems like almost everyone I talk to, I can pull it back to that until the addict is ready to change, until the addict has hit their bottom, until the addicts decide I can't do this anymore. Will they look for help? Because help's out there. Okay, we're out. Help is out there. It's the same. Someone I just interviewed a really sweet actress about DV, domestic violence. Gorgeous Disney actress. She was on the show. And it's the same thing. She stayed in a very toxic, physically and verbal abusive relationship until she was ready to move, not because she should have earlier, but because she was ready. So I'm wondering if these people sit in the bowels of their darkness and their negativity long enough that they start to get tired of it. Because listen, how long can you sit in woe is me before you look over at people like you and me and go, damn, I kind of want what they have. They seem happy. They can't be happy people.
Well, I'll put that in a nutshell, what happened with COVID. A lot of people I've spoken to never really saw it this way. I mean, first of all, my condolences to everybody who lost people during COVID. You know, it was a bad thing, for the economy, for our families, for everything. But going into COVID, this is what COVID produced, okay? COVID was a plus and a minus for two sides of the world, right? You mentioned a question, were they like this beforehand? Any person who was lazy and not a true grinder or a hustler, COVID was the worst thing for those people. Anybody who was a grinder and a hustler, COVID was the best. And I'll explain why. You and I grew up in an era. First of all, I can't believe you're 59. Girl, if I see you and you're still single, we're going on a date because you look damn 25. So I'm just letting you know.
You gonna give me some coffee, dude?
I'm just letting you know. Yo, Brooklyn style, gonna come out to LA. We're gonna have some coffee. We're gonna have some drinks, all that stuff.
I'm sober. I can have like Coca-Cola. Yeah, okay.
That's cool. We gotta have Coke Zero because we in LA, we gotta look our best. So we're doing Coke Zero. All right.
No, I like caffeine. Go ahead. That's the only way I can more.
But so we grew up in an era where our parents used to say to us, very famous line, I wish I had more hours in the day.
Yeah.
COVID produced that, right? So for the grinders, the hours that we never had, the time, we were giving a year and a half worth of that time. So the grinders that were already grinding and trying to find a way, use COVID to rebirth their life. You were born again, right?
Yeah.
Anybody who was lazy or not a hustler or a grinder, used to working for the man or whatever, or an excuse person, COVID was a way of people getting free money and then watch Netflix every day, but not better themselves. Okay. Even though I had a talk show prior to COVID, you know, I turned the restaurant into a studio. It was small, didn't do great. It was okay. But I redid my entire show during COVID, where I took all those hours and I learned how to write, produce, direct, act, sing, dance, write contracts, sponsorships, you name it, I learned it. I studied people like you, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Ellen. I studied every talk show host on how they do things. And then I learned how to do monologues and parodies, and I'm a middle child, so I took all the wise assness and threw it into being a talk show, and a lot of people like me doing it, just like you. Exactly. That's why I mentioned it. I know you're a middle child, and you're from a talented family, but even as a middle child, we were also stubborn, where no matter how many talents we have in our family, like your sisters, right? We have a thing where we want to be on our own and produce on our own without the help from our brothers or sisters.
Yeah.
That's why middle childs have a lot of street credit, because we're grinders, we're street grinders. Middle childs are the ones that cause the problems, but always find the excuses how to get out of it, right? So when with COVID, the people that were really working hard prior had now the hours to really recreate, or again, rebirth or born again, to make themselves better, right? So when COVID came out, we exploded, right? We're all over the place. You know, my show took off, and then right when we exploded, I started doing every parade, got hired to do all the events. And it was because I, like a Kobe Bryant, I stayed in the gym, the virtual gym, till 2, 3 in the morning. Exercise my brain, exercise my mind, created knowledge, you know, read dictionaries to better my intellect, right? Consistently doing that to make myself better. So did you, so did a lot of other grinders around the world, the Jay-Z's and the everybody else. The people that were so used to being lazy. COVID wasn't like a bonus for laziness, right? Staying home every day, getting fat, watching TV, feeling sorry for yourself. And the problem is people always single themselves out like, oh, I'm going through it. The world was going through it, okay? We all were. People are putting out GoFundMes and crowdfundings to people who were going through it like you. Why are you putting out? It's insulting. You're asking me for money where I'm in the same pandemic you are, right? But there were so many jobs out there that people could have applied for, but people didn't, right? Because people are like, oh, I'm hurt, I'm unemployed, I got disabled on a job. But it's like, yeah, but so many businesses now are virtual. Why didn't you just apply for a virtual job? Because nobody wanted to do it, because the grinders did. They wanted to make extra. So to recap, to end this right here, COVID made hustlers better, but COVID's made lazy people lazier. So today, the ones that are complaining are the ones that were consistently complaining prior to COVID. And now it's just worse because they don't know where to go, because they put themselves in a 1.5-year hibernation slump.
And can I add to that? I agree with you. And do
Yeah.
you think also this third group, which is stuck in the middle, they would love to be more driven like you and I, and yet they feel guilty and bad for being stuck. They're kind of like in this third like lost group, right? Because I'm not a big believer of black and white, and because those are the ones maybe without a voice. Because what I discovered about me, and I read this one time, and boy did it resonate. A lot of people wake up and they don't have a purpose. Can you imagine how awful it would feel to wake up and not have a fucking purpose in life? What the hell? Now here's a lot of people, if you ask them what's your purpose, they can't answer that question. I had to ask myself when I was in rehab, bitch, what is your purpose? It's always to help people, but I forgot about myself. And then I realized it was actually more layered than that. It was I had a lot of peeling of the onion. But what I'm getting at is that if one can ask oneself, what is your purpose? I'm sorry, and you don't have an answer, discover what your passion is, and your passion will lead you to your purpose. That sounds really simple, but it's more complicated than you would think, but it's certainly a beautiful beginning, right? And if these people waking up and they're in the negative Nancy, Debbie Downer club, and if you were to ask them, right, straight up in their face, not via text, hey, John, Joey, Cindy, Susie, whatever, let me ask you a question. What's your purpose in life? Oh, yeah. What's your passion? I don't know. Oh, let's start with that. Because I know your passion isn't being part of the problem. I know your passion isn't being with these group of people who are not going to propel you towards being your authentic self. Because I believe, my heart, 95% of all mankind want harmony, love, and we want to get together. We want for everybody to be happy. And it's supposed to be, that's what Mother Earth is about, right? 5% who just got some nasty DNA. Do you see this big old light down here?
What is that? Is that a ball?
Okay, my producer just said there's a ball of light. Yes, DJ, my producer. Say hi to DJ, my producer.
Hey, what's up, man?
I told you you have the best accent, DJ. I think either the sun or it's a crystal ball.
I love it. I love it.
You brought the light out in me. Literally, this light.
Yeah, Dedee, get in line. I do that with a lot of women. Get in line, bro.
I love this conversation, but speaking of lights, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Believe in the paranormal? Yes and no, and why? Go, dude, go. Hit that.
Okay. Do I believe in? Okay. Let's get real.
We already talked about this a little bit. Go ahead, say it.
I'm one of these people that I believe that there's got to be something more than just this life. I believe that I'm sure there are apparitions and spirits around us, because I don't want to believe that after we're done, right? I do have a theory. Now, I don't want people to get mad or anything, and just hear me out. We're all religious in our own way, right? We're all religious.
You're going to give me a bunch of hate mail for what you were about to say.
I have to say this because people like
forward it to you. I'll just forward that shit to you.
Let the negativity come, because they reshare stuff. But I do believe that there's something, right? one thing I know about human beings is we need answers for everything because we can't deal with not having an answer. And that's real. And I get that. Okay. So the Bible and everything else, like, how do we know that the person that wrote the Bible wasn't crazy? Right? We don't. We're just going by the churches and everybody else based on information that were handed down to us over centuries, right? And that's a real statement, right? So when you say believe in apparitions or ghosts or God or anything, it's because we want to believe that there's something more, right? Is it out there? We 100% will never know unless we actually see it. That's where faith comes in and destiny. So me personally, I'm hoping that my mom is on my shoulder watching me, right? Because I'm hoping to meet her again one day. And I'm hoping that there is a God or a goddess that put us here or some type of power. And I'm hoping to meet this person and say thank you. But I don't 100% know if it's real because I can't see it or touch it or speak to it. But because I have faith, I'm hoping it's there. So are there ghosts around me right now? Probably, and they're probably stabbing me right now. Like, dude, what the hell are you saying, dog? Yo, when you come up here, we go fight. Well, you can't hit me now because you got to go right.
They might be patting you on the back saying, you're saying what other people think. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah. Listen, that's what I'm saying. I never knocked paranormal. I interviewed Patty Negri on my show, I think a year and a half ago, and she has a gift. And we had a great conversation. And I go, Patty, if we ever go out, you're going to freak me out because I don't want to sit there and see my wine glass being lifted and it ain't me because that's going to scare the crap out of me. You know?
Todd, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's a really good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know that for a long ass time, people have claimed all the way back to indigenous populations, it goes back, Egyptians, just it goes way back, that people have seen and had these experiences. These are eyewitness testimonies. You know, in our country, eyewitness testimony can put a man or a person in the death chair, right? I mean, eyewitness testimony has validity in this country, but yet then somebody over here says, I saw this or this happened to me, and all of a sudden now eyewitness testimony is bullshit. What is it? Is it really, does it have validity or not? Because I think that goes back with the stereotype, mocking people. Oh, Johnny's crazy on the farm. He said he saw something last night, you know, all that kind of bullshit. Well, let me tell you, not everyone wants to join a crazy party or what society says is a crazy party. Do you know 80% of everyone in the world, not just the United States, believe in something higher and bigger than us? And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality because they are different.
Right. No, I agree with you. Most people do believe in something. People don't like talking about stuff that they don't have intellect to respond to. People also mock what they don't understand, right? Like even in sci-fi, what was that?
Who told us the paranormal is scary? Who told us that? Movies.
Well, movies is like our fantasy world. Like we all want to be an Avenger, the girls want to be the Little Mermaid because it's about living outside the box, right? And you cannot say that we put these names on things like, here, this is a cup, but why isn't this called an apple, right? Because this is the names that we call it. So we call extraterrestrial aliens. How do we know there's not other creatures on different planets? It is possible, so why are we the only planet? So you gotta keep your mind expanded. It doesn't mean it's not there. It's about faith, it's about believing. You can't say 100% that it's out there or ghosts exist unless you see it, but if you have faith and believe, it's going to help you get through life.
Also in recovery, I learned something so beautiful from Kathleen Murphy. She just taught me something that I hold so close. I say it all the time. Probably said it in your interview. I say it all the time on my podcast, but I think it's worth repeating, which is you have the choice to go through life with resistance. Resistance
Damn,
looks
your
like.
hand's glowing.
Dude, I'm the light.
Oh my God, yo, I'm getting tingles right now.
I
may need to take a moment, girl, and change my underwear. Oh my God.
They're like, some gal over there driving and they have this on audio and they're like, what are they talking about? Well, for those of you who are listening to this, my hands are glowing. There is some spiritual, there's some stuff going on in my Zen room right now, but there's resistance. I have my hand up in the frame, trying to see through my fingers. And then there's curiosity, which is open-handed and bring it on. Look at that. That's what curiosity.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's kind of cool, Todd. Look at that.
Yeah.
Curiosity, resistance. Curiosity. Oh, my hand is glowing. Oh, for those of you who are only listening, please, you're gonna tune in. You have to see this visual. That is
That
so
is
cool.
beautiful. I think because if there is a God up there, I think he's realizing we're talking some real stuff right now.
I do a lot of spiritual. I went to Colombia to learn how to do what people, ayahuasca and all these hallucinogens that people are doing to leave their bodies. They literally are leaving the material body and their soul is leaving. I can't do, well, I can do that. I'm choosing not to because I'll lose my damn sober chip if I did that. So there's a guy named Dr. Joe Dispenza who's teaching hundreds of thousands of people around the world how to do it with this form of meditation. It's not just checking out or visualizing or anything like that. You literally leave your material body and you go to literally this other realm of vibration and energy. And it's from what I understand from people who actually have done ayahuasca, they said it's the same thing, but without the, I'm not getting ayahuasca. I clearly don't know what I'm saying, but they said it's the same thing, but one you use drugs and then ones you don't. That just goes to show how powerful we are as human beings. And if we can slow down enough to learn how to, even for a little bit during the day, from our physical body and thoughts and all this that we know for a minute and go into the spiritual realm, it's really where peace and love exists while you're here on earth in this earth body. It's so cool, dude. I'm such a huge fan of it. Yes, I sound like I drank the lemonade. But the lemonade only had sugar in it, okay? There's nothing else in there.
Yeah, I kind of grew up more on the Kool-Aid when my whole wrist all the way down into the elbow and just turning it around. That's how we rolled back in the day.
Oh God, I love you, Todd. You're so great. All right, let's go. Spirit animal. Okay, this is my spirit animal, by the way. And I'm not a Leo, I'm a Capricorn. People are like, what? I'm like, it's a long story. He's my spirit animal. When I first learned how to meditate, I couldn't, my monkey mind was just ridiculous. It would try to calm my ass down, right?
Yeah.
It was without a bottle of wine just to knock my ass out or a 2x4. It was really hard. But I had this male lion just keep rushed in my brain, like just came at me, and to the point where I opened my eyes and went, what the hell was that? So I closed my eyes again and he came at me again, but he wasn't scary. It was more comforting. And I just looked dead straight in his eyes and he looked straight at me. And I don't know why, but he gave me the courage, which is funny, he's a lion, to continue on and not stop this thing called calming one's soul down, take a big breath and start the rebirth, right? So my question to you, my friend, if you could be reincarnated as any animal, what would it be and why?
I mean, I definitely like the lion, but my personality is very comedic and I have a loving heart. I don't know if this is an animal, it is per se amongst kids, but I'd probably be like a teddy bear.
Oh,
There's a reason that my mother always used to tell me that I had a way of bringing out the best in people, making people smile. I've been like this all my life. I was a wise ass, but I was always, there's so much crap going on in the world that I try to just get to people laugh. It's probably why people like me as a talk show host. So a teddy bear growing up is the one sanctity that kids look forward to when they're going wrong. They want a hug, right? And I think hug is one of the most non-used saying that a lot of, is that right? Non-used? I think it's maybe non-used. A hug are things that should be used more often. Because they go a long way from a teddy bear to a family member, because the teddy bear always had a way of making people laugh, whether you're Winnie the Pooh or anybody else. Our job was to comfort you and make you feel safe and make you smile. And that's what I do on a daily basis, whether it's my job or my talk show. So probably a teddy bear, because at the end of the day, when you're around me, I want you to feel safe. And but if you get, but if you also want to feel safe, that teddy bear will get metamorphosized into a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
And then the Brooklyn Todd, Queens Todd will come out and I got you back 24/7. So
and I believe that. By the way, do you know what else a teddy bear is? By the way, there is such a thing as a teddy bear. It's called a bear cub. And bear cubs are the best. They do muy good. I want one, but I'd probably get my face slashed. But teddy bears are also transitional objects for children from their parents, right? When they hug on your mom and dad or your caretaker, and when they start to wean, they're given they're giving like teddy bears, and they're called transitional
Yeah.
objects. Yes, to keep them to feel safe. And I love that you want to be a teddy bear. I thought you were going to make up an animal because I had another friend she just made one up. I loved it.
Yeah, like I want to be a doppelganger monkey. Like, what the freak are you talking about, a doppelganger monkey? So you kind of look like Charlie the chimpanzee, but in another realm? Like, what do you mean? Like, stop being stupid and just answer the question.
Todd, I adore you. Oh my God, this has been so fun. I can't thank you enough for coming on. And can I just end this not interview, but this conversation with saying thank you for adding to the conversation and being part of the solution. And you will always be my teddy bear.
Oh, all right, girl.
Oh, baby.
I don't know if you want some of this loving right now, because if you grab on tight, you might not let go. And I'm just.
Oh, look at you now! Oh my God! I have two guys today that I haven't stopped flirting. I'm just going to be known as the tacos, or the girl of the podcast is always flirting with all the guys.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, as long as I'm number one, they're all backups. I'm cool with that. That's all good.
So Todd, you owe me coffee if I ever get to the East Coast, all right?
We're gonna get coffee. We're gonna get whatever you want to get.
And a Coca-Cola red. I want the caffeine and the sugar, baby. The classic.
I'm cool. Listen, I'm at sweet, so you get all the sugar you want.
Thank you, Todd. You're the best. We're gonna have you back next season, okay?
That sounds like a plan.
All right, sweetie.
Thank you, dude. Bye.
For more information on today's guest, check out the show notes below or visit our website at www.downwithdedee.com.